That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to a ranking Notre Dame positional groups in terms of confidence I have in them entering 2023 as we sit today, edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps me as well. Notifications on that way. You'll be alerted every time a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish, or at Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishandy@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want me. You can give me a call in line. 312-900-8815. Tell Johnny all you've heard and seen about the Irish. I haven't been as connected this week. I have some family stuff going on I have to tend to in the big fancy downtown Chicago. Taking some of my time. I think we'll be able to get to a live show within the next day or two. Stay tuned for that. And of course, Fighting Irish Wire. Tune in every day. See what everybody wants to write about your Fighting Irish squad, okay? So this is fun. Listen, I'm trying to lighten the mood a little bit. People around Notre Dame land are wound tight. And you know how I know people are wound tight in Notre Dame land? When they got me telling people to chill out. I don't know what's been going on. I'm telling you, people are wound tight. And there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of uncertainty and a lot of questions about where this is all headed. While most of us agree, we're going to put a pretty darn good team on the field to start the year. And I just know it's a red flag to me. Something's up. As tight as I'm wound with Notre Dame football, when I'm the one telling people, you got to relax. I think we're going to be okay. So we got to have some fun. So I want everybody to play along with me. And the way I want to do this is kind of on the fly. I didn't want to sit there and take an hour to analyze every statistical thing about this and that. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to take a surface level look at the position groups on this ball club and where I and where you might rank them in terms of confidence, meaning I know what I'm going to get and I know I'm going to like it and I know it's going to be good enough. That's how we're going to rank these. Okay. Now, again, I did not go through all the statistics. I'm not doing it technically by that, like an efficiency rating by the book of each one of these, according to Pro Football. That's not what I'm going for. I want it to be our gut reactions in our minds, in our hearts, how we feel about this team, what's in our minds as we enter this new year and this spring. So, here we go. I'm going to give it a shot. Number one, most confidence for me, running back. Running back again. Full stable of backs. That I really love. With diversified skill sets and bodies and athleticism levels. There's a ton of flexibility there. And I like that. Do I wish they could find a different way to use Tyree to get him the ball in other different ways that opens it up for Estime to get the ball more? And what about Diggs? And then what about Price? Like, there's a lot in the mix here, and it's all pretty good. It's all pretty good. And this is a group where I'll feel good even if they suffer an injury or something. Obviously, that's not ideal. But you feel like there's capable guys behind that can step in and provide what you need. So for me, top confidence running back. One part of it's the numbers. There's a lot of them. And I also just like how they each bring something different to the table that helps the ball club win. That's number one for me, most confidence. Here's number two. If this quarterback competition ends up how I would predict it, I don't know anything for sure. You could disagree with me. We're going to find out soon enough who's wrong or right. If quarterback ends up Hartman, Buckner, and they're both healthy, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I feel like I know if that's the 1-2, that Notre Dame might finally be in a position where quarterback isn't a thing clearly holding them back. And that'd be really darn refreshing because we haven't had that in a while. And I got news for you. When I say a while, I'm including Ian Book in that. Even going undefeated, making the playoff, and getting the heck beat out of him and laying his body on the line and all that. Even in an undefeated season, you knew you weren't getting high-level quarterback play, throwing the ball the way you needed to win playoff games. And then we found out. Okay? So when I say reliable quarterback play that I know I could, I'm not even including Ian Book in that as much as he accomplished. This would be a different level of reliability, particularly throwing the ball that we haven't seen. And so for that reason, if it's healthy, I'm looking at these position groups overall, not just the starter. Healthy Hartman Buckner is a very, very high floor and a very high ceiling, I think. I could get down with that as a 1-2 healthy. I dig it. I'm good with that. Number 3, give me Morrison Hart corners. Give me those guys. One is I liked what I've seen, and the other is I still think there's room for them to get even better, especially Morrison. And so some of that is the potential from what they proved to me on the field. Not recruiting guys pumping them up, not the coach pumping them up, and then I don't see anything on Saturdays. Not bloggers that want to write an article so they include this guy as a break. No. Morrison's a star. And there's a lot of room to grow in leadership and capability on the field. So I'm going to go with corner there. I feel pretty good with that situation. Next, I'm going to go O-line. Unless there's a couple injuries, I think they should be pretty darn good. Tackles are strong as could be. And then inside, I feel a little less great. But unless there's a couple injuries, they should be pretty good. You might ask, O-line U, that's been our bread and butter. Why are they like kind of middle of the pack on my list? This group still has stuff to prove to me. In some of the biggest moments, they didn't get any push against good teams and bad teams. We got bullied up front by USC all night on both sides of the ball. Totally unacceptable. Our whole thing is, all USC wants to do is be soft, surfer dudes hang 10, and they don't want to play physical and just want to throw the ball around 7 on. They came and smacked us in the mouth. They smacked us in the mouth, and we handed their guy the Heisman Trophy. So all that toughness, bully ball, Midwestern, all that dust, cloud of dust, they did it to us. We didn't do it to them. And they had the guy throwing the ball all over, dazzling the crowd. Handed him his Heisman at his place. How perfect it was in Hollywood. Anyways, this group's got a lot to prove to me still. And so for that reason, I just have them middle of the pack here, number 4. Number 5, I have tight end. And obviously, if you add Michael Mayer, this moves way up the list because you know what you're going to get. I still have it middle of the group here because this position is to the point in Notre Dame where some other schools are at with quarterback and wide receiver where you just bring them in and then you know they're going to be good. And you know you're going to get production. Or defensive lineman if you're looking down at Georgia or something, Alabama. Like, Notre Dame's there in terms of tight end, and that's awesome. So Evans stays, whatever. I have confidence that group's going to be okay. That's how they end up in the middle of the group. I don't know that they're going to be great, like Mayer productivity, but they're not going to be a reason I'm banging my head against the wall every Saturday either. Middle of the pack there. That's fair. 6th, I have wide receiver. Okay. We all know the deficit we're digging out of at wide receiver. So now you have better bodies, more bodies, more athletic bodies, guys with an attitude and a chip on their shoulder. You also should be energized by the prospect of a quarterback that can make all the throws and get you the damn ball where it needs to be and on time. So I expect that group to look much better, but they had a long ways to go to even be acceptable. And I still got to believe it, see it before I believe it in a lot of ways. So that's why I have that group there. Now we get to the bottom three. Think to yourself what's left. Think to yourself what's left in the bottom three. Linebackers. It's just got to be better. Mix up your timing, mix up your packages, mix up your personnel. That is what spring is for. Whatever the deal was last year, I don't care what anybody tells me, it just didn't look right. It didn't look right. We looked a half second off on everything we were trying to accomplish all year. Late on a blitz, late to shed a block, late to be where you need to be, just late enough that plays weren't made. And that group went into last year thought to be one of the stronger ones in the team, and it just wasn't, in my opinion. Spring is the time to play with all this stuff. Your packages, personnel, move guys into different linebacker roles, have different ones out there at the same time in different roles. Like, you got to try something, because what we saw last year was not good enough out of this group. Never blitz again. If you're going to do these blitzes where it looks like a delayed blitz, but it's not even supposed to be, I don't think. Just don't even do it at all. Like, something was just off all year, and I hate it. 8 D-line. This is a different worry than like wide receiver. Wide receiver, I now feel like there's a lot of guys, like if somebody's not producing, we have guys now that would like that opportunity, that are athletic, that could get out there as young guys and probably make a couple plays. Are they going to be polished route runners, polished blockers, all that stuff? No. But that's where we're at. Okay, this isn't Alabama or Ohio State's wide receiver room. It's not. So I'm confident there. We have the bodies that somebody could step up and be productive. D-line, one of my honest to God simple fears is we don't have enough guys that are big enough to clog up the middle to hold up against the run right up the gut. And then secondarily, consistent pressure off the edges. Not once in a while, consistent, both edges, so they always got to worry about it coming from everywhere. So in some ways, this is, it's just not ideal, because I don't even think it's a case of like, who are you playing? Move these other guys in and give them a shot. Some of this is, I just don't think Notre Dame has the bodies they need to do what I want them to do this year, interior on the D-line. And if you don't hold up against the run, you're dead against everything else. Everything starts in defense football with stopping the run. Everybody knows that. So that is a big, big fear. I would break it primarily stopping the run, and then a secondary fear would be consistent pressure. Unleash Patella, like do whatever you want to do. Coming off the edge, like vipe, whatever you want to do. But those are my worries. And it's different when I'm just worried we don't have the bodies, because then there's nothing you can do. You can't scheme out of that. You can't sub out of that. If you're just getting pushed around in your biggest games, there's not a damn thing you could do. So that worries me. And then number 9, safety. And I guess some of me having them last in comfort is just Notre Dame nostalgia. Most of my entire cognitive existence, Notre Dame safety play has been one of my primary concerns / and or nightmares. Like, you can name the nightmares. Like, you remember the nightmares by Notre Dame secondary. That's how bad it's been, that It isn't just like, oh yeah, they haven't been great. You remember the nightmares clearly. Fancy Jersey game, first night game at the big house, losing on the last play. You can't defend a ball you don't even turn around to look for in the end zone, buddy. That one still is seared into my mind. Bush push game. Everybody's worried about what happened up in the goal line. We had them in 4th and 9. 4th and 9, and let him complete a 63-yard pass to get him inside the 10-yard line. Like, I'm sorry, but safety has been a concern of mine forever, and it's going to be one until it's not. Now, I guess maybe I should feel a little better about safety because I feel so good about Morrison and Hart that it could cover for some of that. But safeties are called safeties for a reason. It frees those guys up to go ball hawking or make plays. I got to know what I got back there supporting them. So that's my list of the main 9 position groups. Let me know what you guys think in terms of confidence. Running back, quarterback, if it's healthy, Hartman, Buckner. Corner next, O-line, tight end, wide receiver. And then the entire defense, linebackers, D-line, safety. If you want to mix those 3 up, I have no problem. If you want to mix the 3 defensive ones, I don't care. Go for it. Those 3 bottom ones. Like, if you want to mix them up, go for it. It just tells me a lot logically when I look at this that I don't feel that energetic and great about any part of that defense except for basically Morrison right now compared to the offense. So look in 1 year, what a swing we made offense to defense here. And I'm open to that defense playing a lot better than I'm worried about, but I got to see it to believe it. And there's just some things that make me nervous. Let me know what you guys think of this. Do you disagree with me? What's your list? Put it in the chat. Have a good one.